Hello, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze. I'm on my own tonight. This was unplanned. I wasn't supposed to be going live. I was going to be doing a pre-record to release, but I couldn't get the software working. So I thought I might as well have done the prep. Might as well jump online. So I hope you're all well. And yeah, we're going to be discussing the Arsenal game today. So just to run through the agenda quickly, I'll give you my quick sort of thoughts on the game. I won't go through every point. Then we'll run through some key points. And as I'm online, you can help me do some player ratings. We might as well do that. I wasn't planning on doing that, but why not? So we'll do the player ratings, and then we'll talk about the frustration that appears to be building within Declan Rice. So I don't know whether we can read anything into that, or I mean, I can understand it, but like I say, we'll go into that in a bit more detail, and then we'll talk about. We'll probably do a quick recap as well on April in the league. I don't want to be sort of too downbeat, but I am going to be honest. So I always am. So I'm going to talk about that game as it is. I'm also going to talk about the league form as well, which is a bit of a frustration. We have really sort of got all of our eggs are all in one basket now. It's all on Thursday night. And I'm still really, really confident about that, by the way. I still think there's a really good chance that, we're going to go to Frankfurt and we're going to pull it out of the bag. I do still believe that. We've got to, haven't we? We've got to believe that. So, but anyway, that's the show in a nutshell. So let's get started. What I'll do is, because it's only me, please interact in the chat as well. Like I say, a bit lonely in here on my own. I will endeavour to go through comments after each section. So, like I say, I'll give you my quick thoughts on the game, and then we'll go through the sort of each individual key point as well. So yeah, I thought I quite enjoyed the game. To be honest, I thought the way that we set up, the way that Moyes set up, it was quite exciting. To be honest, it was good to see Noble back because Souček has been out of form. And I think Noble, he did put in a really good performance. I thought we played good football, and I've seen a lot of comments on Twitter talking about Fornals, Lanzini, and Ben Rama. They kind of limited our counter attack, and well, that wasn't our style. That wasn't what David Moyes set us out to do. Because we didn't have a focal point to our attack as such. We set out to out Arsenal. We set out to outpass them, to retain the ball, because we were so weak defensively. It was quite a good plan, I thought. Obviously the game plan was to retain the ball, and that's why there was a lot of sideways and backwards passing, because it's not what we're used to. But that is what that game is all about. You're patient. You sort of, if there's no options in front of you, you go back and you draw players out, and you're just patient. What we were clearly lacking, though, when you play that way, we were lacking that cutting edge. So we were, like I said, if you look at the stats, I haven't actually pulled them up, but I did look at them at half time. And if you look at the stats, I think the possession stats were literally 50-50. We had played more passes than Arsenal and more successful passes as well. So it was working, and I think we had the better chances overall. I think the first half we were really good. It was just that unfortunate sort of lapse in concentration from Bowen. Look, it's going to happen if you're playing a passing game, especially if you're not used to playing a passing game like we're not. Every now and then, you're going to slip up, and it was unfortunate that led to the goal. I mean, we'll talk about the actual corner and we'll talk about the goals themselves after, because obviously they were a bit of a mess, weren't they? But like I say, at half time, I was quite pleased. I thought we were unlucky to concede. I think we were by far the better team. Moving into the second half, I did think that we started to tire a little bit. I did think that we started to tire. You could see that, and I can understand it. But again, it's frustrating, isn't it? Because it feels like against Chelsea last week, if we'd have had a fit and firing team that weren't fatigued, if we'd have had better reserves that we could bring in, we would have beat Chelsea. Everton beat Chelsea this weekend. Struggling bloody Everton beat them, and we would have beat Arsenal. Arsenal weren't good. They weren't good at all. I think we were the better team, and there were a couple of moments in that game in terms of selection, for instance. And I don't want to be too harsh on Fabianski. We'll talk about it in the player ratings, But what I will say is, I do believe if Areola was in goal, we at least get a draw, because I don't think if you we'll run through the talking points in a minute, but the way Areola sticks to his line for that second goal and it's straight at him, his reactions aren't quick enough. It just ricochets off of his knee into the goal. I think Areola saves that. He's more athletic. He's a better keeper. And like I said, that's not a slight on Fabs. I don't want to be critical of him because he's been a very good keeper for us. But, it's been time for a while now for Moyes to make that change. Now, I don't even care if David Moyes hasn't got any intentions of retaining Areola next season. That's not an excuse. As it stands at the moment, we've got a better keeper on the bench than we've got on the pitch. I don't really get that. I don't see how Moyes can justify it in his own mind. And like I say, that cost us points. We'll get into Mike Dean as well, the twat. We'll talk about him because he's got to do it every single time, and it ain't just Mike Dean, is it? We're seeing it all. We're seeing it week in, week out at the moment. It feels that way anyway, And I'm not the type of person that likes to make excuses when we lose. I tend to just get more frustrated with the team and the way that we set up. I don't like to look for excuses, but it's starting to feel a little bit blatant now because it wasn't just that yellow card to Bowen and no punishment to Ramsdale. It was their second goal as well. There was a handball in the lead up to it. It was a blatant handball. The guy's gone up. I can't think who it was, but he's led with his arm, and the ball's ricocheted off of his arm, gone out to Martinelli. Martinelli's he's chopped it back in. Goal. Yes, we could have defended that better, but again, the rules are now if there's a handball in the box, surely, But I suppose, look, quick thoughts on the game. Overall, I thought it was a good performance. I thought we was unlucky. It's as simple as that. I'm really frustrated. There's not really much more we can say. I think Moyes it was a good game plan out, but with the tools that he had. I think it was a good game plan. We were unlucky. If we'd have had Dawson, and we should have had Dawson because he shouldn't have been sent off last week, we would have won that game. I'm confident of it. So, yeah. Anyway, let's run through the chats. We've got a couple of comments. I'm not expecting many people on tonight because I didn't announce it. Like I say, it was unplanned. Let's see who's in. Garino. Oh, thanks for joining, mate. Just saw a wonderful dive by Ronaldo who didn't get booked. I know. Mate, Bowen got a yellow. I've got to throw these up. Look, I'm terrible at this. There we go. Garino, evening. Just saw a wonderful dive by Ronaldo who didn't get booked. Bowen got a yellow for avoiding a broken leg. And that is exactly what happened there. Because, like I said, I've got some still shots that we'll run through. I know you've all seen it 100 times. But the fact is, Bowen sees Ramsdale come flying in at a rate of knots with his leg up in the air. I'm not saying it's knee high, but that's a leg breaker. Bowen's he's got to get out of the way of that, or it is a leg breaker. So I can't believe that what Dean did there. And you know what? He'd already made his mind up, hadn't he? He didn't even think about it. He was jogging over with his, getting that card out of his pocket. I can't stand the bloke. Can't stand him. Evening, John. Premier League mock outrage over the ESL and the Big Six. Yet the match officials and VAR do everything they can to help them. Pretty sure there was a handball for the Arsenal second goal. Yeah, I just said that, mate. There was a handball. And if that had been down the other end. Would you remember? Go back to the Liverpool game. Do you remember the Ogbonna header? How many things were they looking at? I mean, that VAR check must have took 2 minutes. It must have took 2 minutes. They was looking for handball. They was looking for infringements earlier in the play. They was looking to see if someone had farted. It was that they was looking for anything that they could see to rule that goal out. But that was over pretty quick, that check, wasn't it? Yeah, it makes a mockery of it all. It does. I agree. You seen Ronaldo tonight, mate? I've not seen it. I know, but again, it's Ronaldo. It's Man United. One of the Big Six. The same rules do not apply. We know that. We know that now. Well, we've always known that. Ballon Dawson. It's time to hand over number 1 to Areola. He is our keeper for the next few years. Yeah, no, I agree. John McCarthy, Frankfurt losing after 5 minutes to Leverkusen tonight. Have they rested all of their players? Do you know, Frankfurt? I'm assuming they have. So I wouldn't be surprised if they've more or less rested every team because their league, they're safe. They're nowhere near the top 6. Their league season is dead and buried. So they're playing for nothing in the league. So I'd be very surprised if they're not resting players. I think the best that we can hope for is 7th. I do agree with that. And to be honest, I would bite your hand off for 7th now. I know that Wolves have got to play 3 of the big 6 and Norwich, and we've got to play Norwich as well. But we have to play Norwich 2 days after playing Frankfurt at the weekend. Now, if we win, our tails will be up. Well, if we win, we won't even care if we beat Norwich, will we? But if we lose, it's, not only we're going to be like mentally exhausted and physically drained, we're going to be. It's not going to be a good time to play Norwich. I mean, the pressure's off them now. Their players are probably looking for their next move, so they're in the shop window now. So even that one, I know everyone's been beating Norwich this year, but I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about it. I'm a bit nervous about playing anyone on a Sunday after a Thursday with us, to be honest. It's just not something we're good at, is it? We haven't got the personnel. John McCarthy, how you doing, mate? It's because we threaten the top 6 and they don't want this here, mate. It certainly feels that way, doesn't it? It does. And like I say, I'm genuinely not one of those fans that looks for excuses. I really don't like doing that, but it's starting to feel that way. Sharky, I know. Bowen got booked for trying not to get injured yet. What's this? The under-23s, 4-0. Darby Yarmolenko. He's playing in the under-23s, is he? These dodgy decisions and a lack of VAR checks, which take less than half. Yeah. Seems to be more common at the end of the season. Yeah, well, this is the money end of the season, Greeno, isn't it? And it does it. Look, like I say, I'm sure it's not just us, but I think we were, as John said, we are a main threat. So it does feel like, I don't know. We've got to try extra hard. We've got to work overtime to get in them positions. I think we have. 9 changes for Frankfurt tonight. Cheers, Alan. Only Kostic and Trapp playing. Kostic is playing, is he? Hopefully he gets injured. Right, okay. Let's get into the highlights. Right, what I've done, I've saved. I've got some screenshots for the game. Let me share my screen. 1 minute. I hope I'm doing all right. By the way, I'm not used to being on my own live. Right, share screen. Here we go. Okay. There we are. Right, this is a first goal. Obviously, the first thing that you'll notice there, that we all noticed, that we couldn't believe. Look, first of all, right, Arsenal are not a big team. They're not. They look big compared to us yesterday because we had, we looked like Barcelona from the, the final third onwards. So we were a small team yesterday. But in what world does Lanzini mark Holding? When does that happen? Surely you've got to be marking Holding. You've got to have big lumps on Holding and Gabriel. But do you know what? Everyone did blame Lanzini. I don't think it was Lanzini's job to mark Holding. I think it was his job here to try and disrupt his run, which he tried. It's Zuma who's looking that way. Zuma is looking at Holding. So if you have a look at the next slide, hang on. Look, Zuma is the one. So Holding breaks away from Lanzini. He's trying to do everything he can to disrupt his run, and it's Zuma is the one who's got to win. Who's got to win that header? He's got to attack that. He's got to assess the flight of the ball. He's got to come out. He's got to get it, but he don't get anywhere near it. Holding leaps, gets the ball, and that's it. 1-0. Like I say, I don't think you'd like to think that it wasn't Lanzini's job to mark him. He was just being disruptive, like when we put Antonio on the keeper. I think he just saw a big man that was going to make a run into the box, and that was his job. Zuma didn't get to the ball before him. It's as simple as that. Sloppy goal could have been avoided. Would have been avoided if Dawson had have been playing. I'm pretty sure. Right, this is the Declan Rice chance. Great header. So Pablo Fornell's corner. Don't know if you remember that one. And then he sort of jumps up and he flicks it. The commentators gave him no credit whatsoever. They said, "I don't think he's going for goal. He just tried to put that across." I mean, it was so biased, the commentary yesterday when it with Alan Smith, because I didn't go to the game yesterday. Watched it on TV. And Ramsdale pulls off a good save, but my God, was it one for the cameras? I mean, look, it was a great header, but he's a fucking acrobat, that bloke, and it was literally right above his head. Both feet are off the floor. Does a front flip. Don't like him, especially after what we're going to talk about in a minute. Yeah, look at him. Look how after ground he is. Twat. Right, this is our goal. A great goal that we scored as well. Declan Rice does what Declan Rice does. Pings a beautiful pass over to Vladimir Sufal, who just managed to stay onside. He controls it with his chest, and then he does pick out with Bowen. A lovely cross. Do you know what? He got this. He got this away so quick, and this is something we've all been complaining about, isn't it? The fact that we ponder on the ball too much. But he does. He sort of controls it and almost hits it in one motion. He controls it with his left, sets it, and then bang, that's in. And I know it gets a slight deflection, but I don't care. I don't care. It was on target. You got to get it on target, and he did that. It was a great goal, great finish. And like I said earlier on, I think that we were good value for that as well. We shouldn't have been a goal down. I don't think we were the better team. All right, moving on. This is the contentious. Well, not contentious. It was. I don't know what word it is. It was a fucking disgrace, to be quite honest. What Mike Dean did here. So Pablo Fornals picks the ball up, sprays a lovely ball over the top to Bowen. Bowen's going through, as you can see. Go back to that. Look, Ramsdale's coming out. Bowen's right on the ball. Ramsdale he's got no right to be doing that. He's never going to get anywhere near him. Right, Bowen does get to the ball here. He knocks it away from him, and then Ramsdale comes through. Now, look, at what point? Because if you listen to the commentary, I think it was Jamie Redknapp on the or one of them said that they were taking the piss, basically saying it'd gone down like a man in Platoon or something like that. He ain't diving here, is he? And this is almost where the contact would have been made. So what exactly are they talking about? I don't actually understand it. He's managed to get in front of him and nip the ball away from him. But anyway, so he goes over. Mike Dean, like I say, it was almost as quick as that. Look, he'd gone over her, and he literally had the yellow card out that quick. Can't stand that bloke. And to think he's retiring, but he's not retiring. He's going to VAR next year, along with Martin Atkinson and one of the other ones as well. Just defies belief. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to be rid of that twat from our game altogether? I can't stand him. But this is it from another angle. So, like I say, this is Bowen. He's just about to nip that ball away from and this. If there is ever a goal scoring opportunity, it's nicking the ball past the goalkeeper. Fair enough, you're wide of the goal, but you've got an empty goal to aim at. So that is definitively a goal scoring opportunity, right? There's no contention there, right? So he's nipped the ball past him now. Ramsdale's now coming in with his leg up in the air. Now, if you're Bowen, what do you do at this point here when you've got that foot coming at you? And if you've seen the replays, you saw the pace in which Ramsdale was coming out. Are you going to just leave your leg planted and let it get snapped? Or are you going to try and ride that challenge and get away from it? Because that is completely reckless. He's got nowhere near the ball. And like I say, even here, I can't see Declan. I can't see Jarrod Bowen diving. I can't see him diving at all. It's just so frustrating. So he goes over here. He's managed to avoid the challenge, luckily, because could you imagine that? I mean, where would we be in attack if we lost bloody Bowen? And he goes over, and like I say, it was an absolutely disgraceful decision. And if I go just quickly, let me just show you something else as well. I'm going to go back to that because what is the difference, right, between this and let me just see if I've uploaded it. Between this and this, what happened at the Emirates, right? Do you remember the Soufal one? Where he's gone in. Now, look at Soufal. Soufal touched the fucking ball. So Soufal's come in. He ain't coming in midway through the player. Bearing in mind, and this is what I'm saying to you, we had a big debate after this game because I think it was me and Nigel were saying that this was a penalty and that we could have no complaints about the red card. And Gary and John were saying, no, it weren't. There is no way it was. But the fact of the matter is, if you look at Soufal in that bottom right-hand image, he touches the ball. He's at no point going through the player. Ramsdale ain't got nowhere near it. He ain't got nowhere near the ball. So, first of all, the fact that Jarrod Bowen gets booked is a joke. But how can Ramsdale not walk for that? And if he gets sent off, it's a different game, isn't it? We're definitely going to win then. We should have won anyway. I'm not saying we even needed a leg up. We just didn't need Mike Dean dicking around and basically we was playing against 12 men. But anyway, let's right, so this is their goal, I think. So obviously Saka takes a corner, and this is what Garino was talking about. I don't know who that is at the back. It's a bit of a blurry image, isn't it? But the bloke's come up. He's leapt for the ball. He's led with his arm, and the ball does 100% ricochet off of his arm and goes backwards to Martinelli, who controls it. Does put a good cross in. Now look, this doesn't look too good on Lanzini again because. It's switching off again. So if you look at Gabriel, who's 4 or 5 yards outside of Lanzini. The ball comes in. Lanzini's still in the same position. Look, Lanzini don't move. In fact, it goes the wrong way. And all of a sudden, Gabriel acres of space. Now, my issue here is if you look at, and this is the problem that I've got with Fabs right now, and it is only because he's getting older and he's not as agile as he was. I don't think he's ever really come off the line that much, but he's stuck to that line. Look at him, and yes, it is close to the contact is close. It is straight at Fabianski, but it's straight at him. If he's aggressive and he runs at the player and he spreads himself, he stops it. He stops it. It's not a goal. He saves it. So again, that could have been avoided. So yeah, that's about it for the highlights of the game. Let me run through the chat. 1 minute. Let's have a look. John McCarthy, unlucky, robbed is the word you're looking for. Yeah, we was robbed, mate. We was. I mean, like I say, I don't like to make excuses for defeat, but we were unlucky. Stud shiners, mate, they were. He couldn't have been shown anymore. And it was a pace he was coming out as well. He would have cut him in half. Tony Perry, fair to say, I think we're running out of steam. Hopefully, we can finish strong and go all the way in Europe. Can't help thinking if we'd strengthened in Jan, things could have been a bit brighter. Come on, your wines. Yeah, mate, I know. And we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about how we've tailed off and why we've tailed off. And I am very frustrated about it. But like I say, the season is still alive. I don't want to be too. We can't be downbeat this week. Even if you're frustrated about this game, even if you're sulking, just hold it together, right? Because all we've got to do is we just got to get through it. And I'm saying this to myself because I'm like the world's worst at being negative, by the way. So I'm convincing myself here. You've got to try and hold it together because this is a massive week. I did do a video last week saying biggest game in 46 years. Well, it's not, is it? This game coming is the biggest game in 46 years. This is the money one. And there's only one goal in it. We can go and do that. So, Garino, if we'd scored that goal versus Arsenal, there would have been an 8-minute VAR check of the CSI investigation. Mate, like I said, go back to the Liverpool one earlier in the season, with Ogbonna. Go back to that game. It was an absolute joke. Sharky, we need to beat Norwich. Yeah, we do, but I think if we don't have to beat them, like for instance, if we beat Frankfurt, we'll be all right. Look, we should beat them anyway. I mean, they're relegated. Everyone else has fucking beat them, haven't they? So you got to think that's 3 points. Yeah, we've got to go full strength no matter what. Well, we can do after that game, can't we? Against Norwich, providing all the players are not broken in half, because we haven't got a European game in the midweek. So after that Sunday, we've got a week off. Got a week off before the next game. Cresswell was their centre back. To be fair, did they actually know who they were marking? No, I don't think they did. No, look, that didn't help. But do you know something? I'm not blaming Cresswell for this. I think he'd done the best that he could. But you are right. I mean, it was a bit of a shambles, wasn't it? That for both of them set piece goals. It's normally us that score set pieces. I mean, what's all that about? I want us to qualify for some sort of European football at least. Yeah, that's another one as well. There was a bit of a chat going on in our Facebook group, and it was me that put it out there when I was being all morose yesterday. I was depressed. Do you think it's a prize to be in for the club? What I'm talking about financially, would it be good for the? I know that we want European football. I know we do. I know we'll take 7th. It'll be fine because we like travelling abroad. We like the journey. But 6th is definitely right because Europa League is financially rewarding. But it's 7th because the rewards in the Conference League. I think you get more money if you finish like one place higher in the league. There's not a big financial reward there. I don't think there's much of a pull in terms of it being attractive to bringing new players in. So I don't think it helps us in that respect. And it is going to disrupt our domestic season next year. So both the domestic cups and the league. So thinking about it like that, obviously we're going to want European football. I do. If it was between 7th and 8th, I want 7th. But I don't know whether it's going to be, is it a prize that no one wants? That's what I'm saying. Black Country Hammer, success or bust Thursday, in my opinion. Yeah, it is, mate. It's all on that game for me. But, we're almost at the end of the season. When have we ever arrived at this point? It ain't going to make us feel any better if it goes wrong. But to still be sort of playing for something. If at this stage of the season, it's not something. Well, we're normally when we are playing for something, it's trying to stay alive, isn't it, at the bottom or something like that. It's never playing to win something. Not in my lifetime, anyway. I initially thought Ramsdale was booked. Yeah, so did I. He should have been. He should have been sent off, not booked. Dean, what a twat. Shit, rare. Thank God he's gone soon. Next season he's pot. Yeah, mate. I know. Not just him either. If John Moss was the other one, he's going to be a VAR official as well. He's just as bad. VAR officials were not bothering yesterday. No, it's West Ham, isn't it? They're not going to. Adam Wilshire. Sadly, with United winning, one of three things will happen at the end of the season. We could be in the Champions League. Yeah. Epic hash time. We're not getting anything. When you say we're not getting anything, what do you mean, mate? In terms of, oh, hang on, you got another cut. Let's jump to your one. Best thing about Europe this season. Sorry, that's Garino. Sorry, mate. I'll come back to you in a second. We'll crash out of the Europa League and finish 8th. Well, we're gonna be hard pushed to finish 8th. You know that means that Wolves have got to be. Wolves are 3 points behind us. We've got a better goal difference. We've both got to play Norwich. And other than that, Wolves have got to play Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City, haven't they? So who of them are they? Who of them are they going to beat? Apart from they could potentially get a result against Chelsea, I suppose. But no, I don't see that. I don't see that. Chelsea need, especially now they've lost to Everton, they're going to need them points to make sure they get top 4. So no, I think we're nailed on to finish 7th. I've got to be honest. That's holding. What's this? Sorry, Green. I'll come back to you now. Right. Best thing about Europe this season, the refs with one obvious. Yeah. He was the worst of the lot, wasn't he? And VAR, no bias, few crap decisions, and they let the game flow. Really puts the Premier League officials to shame. Yeah, mate. I know. It has been a breath of fresh air, really. Apart from that one game, which was quite traumatising. Under 23s hammers 5-0. Thanks for the update, John. Paul Summerfield, I don't understand the issue of Areola. There must be something we don't know going on. Yeah, I think the issue might be, mate, because there's a rumour that we've already signed another keeper, a British keeper. I don't know who it is. Didn't it come from Tony Cottee or something? It can only be, I don't know. I actually don't know. It could be Pope, couldn't it? Or the kid from West Brom. Can't think of his name. But I'll be gutted if we lost Areola. He's a class keeper. But whatever happens, it can't be Fabianski next year. Definitely not. Not saying I want him out of the club, but he can't be the number 1. Adam Wilshire, can't believe I'm saying this, but if we don't win Europa, I would take 7th as well. Yeah, mate. Well, I think we've got to, haven't we? Look, forget what I said before. We've got to take 7th, haven't we? Hello, Trudge. Man United winning at half-time, 7th looking nailed on. Yep. That's good, really. Well, look, we weren't going to get 6. I mean, you've seen our remaining games. I think it's only the next one against Norwich that's a real kind of should be a nailed on 3 points. I don't really see us getting much else. It's Man City and the team that we never beat in Brighton after that. Beat Norwich and we get 7th. Yeah, I agree. RGRs, Champions League or 7th. Woe is us. Come on, you irons. Yes, exactly, mate. When you put it like that, it's not that depressing, is it? But I'm still going to be nervous as hell going into that game on Thursday. I'm nervous already. I'm already panicking. But I am a warrior. All right, Rob. 5-0 Derby. Cheers, mate. Right, Conference League will be fine with me. Yeah, it would be. Look. The thing is, I think the Conference League's a bit shit early on, but you got to battle through it, ain't you? So in the groups, you're playing like Albania's finest and stuff like that. Teams that you've never heard of. But you've only got to look at the semi-finals now. You got Roma, Marseille. There's some tasty away days there. So once you get to this stage, it's going to be quite exciting. Right, so I'm just going to zip through these, and then we're going to get to the player ratings quickly because I weren't in. This is taking much longer doing it live. I'd have been done by now. Right, where are we? We only need one more. Sorry. We only need one more win in the league, and we're in Europe next season. Yes, absolutely. Garino, most Premier Leagues in the Europa suffer from the get-go. We've done remarkably well to get to the semi-finals and still be in with a good chat, finishing top 7. And yeah, no, I do agree. I am still frustrated, but I am not going to talk about anything like that. But if the bigger teams with deeper squads, You know, if you've got a deeper squad, then you don't tail off towards the end of the season because you can bring in fresh reserves. When you don't have a deep squad, you know, and you're playing in all of these competitions, fatigue does set in, injuries do come. It's not bad luck. It's nailed on. I can't help but think if we'd have brought in one or two players in January, top six would have been nailed on by now, probably. But then again, how do I know that? I don't know. I don't know. Trini Hammer, hello, mate. If Dawson and Suchek played, they don't score those goals. Absolutely. Absolutely. Garino, it's not great. Not had this in donkey's years. Yeah, I know, mate. And people are still bitching. Mate, I know, I know. Well, half the time that's me, but I do love to bitch. RGRs, the conference is easier to win in the FA Cup. Moyes already said top players, teams play twice a week. Yeah, I know that's what he thinks, but I think we're proving that isn't the case. You know, because that's the other thing as well. If we're going to give it a go, the Conference League, because I think it's nailed on that we're at least going to get that. We ain't going to get sixth now, so it is going to be seventh. He's gonna still have to increase the numbers in the squad to cope with it. We can't face all of these competitions next year with, because the fact of the matter is we're going to have to work hard to get knocked out of that competition because we're going to be one of the biggest teams. So we're probably going to go at least all of the way. You would like to think. Forget Spurs, but we're definitely going to get to the latter stages of that competition. So there's going to be a lot of games next year. So we are going to need a bigger squad. In my opinion, we have to get this transfer window spot on and our business done early. Yeah, blood oil money clubs competing and the underachievers of this season getting stronger, mate. Absolutely, there's a lot of rich clubs in the Premier League. You can't stand still, not in the Premier League. You can't do it. And yeah, I think Moyes, you know, he's got a lot of credit in the bank. He spent some of that credit in January. I think he needs to get it right this summer. He does. He needs to get a wiggle on and get some players in because people will really start to get frustrated if we don't get bodies in, especially when you consider the amount of bodies that we've got going the other way, whether they're deadwood or not, they're bodies. And we're already looking quite sort of down to the bare bones. But anyway, gents, I'm going to let this go and I'm going to get onto the player rating screen. All right. So we'll talk about Fabianski first. Get me your ratings in for Fabianski. I'll star that, so I'll come back to the comments in a bit. But I'll jump down the bottom so we can start talking about Fabianski. So let me pull up the screen. Where are we? There we go. Right. Lucas Fabianski. Right, 1 minute. So Gary's gone 5. Sharky's gone 7. Lee, how you doing? You all right? Going 6. Trodge, 7. Yeah. I don't know. I was very disappointed with him. It is predominantly because of that goal that he let in, but I don't know. I thought his distribution was awful. I thought he was stuck to his line. He did make a couple of good saves. There was a notable one against Saka, wasn't there? But again, that was at his near post. You know, he should be saving that. So if you look at the player rating scores, I've got my overlay back after Gary deleted it. So any 0 to 4 is a donkey, 5 is below average, 6 is average, 7 is above average, 8 is very good, and so on. I think he was below average. He did make a few saves though. So let me just run through these comments. Right. Sorry, I'm a little bit ham-fisted, so there's normally 2 or 3 people doing this. I'm not as good as the likes of Stel. I don't know how he does it. Right. 5. Adam's gone 6. Here we go. 6. Yeah, look. Okay, look. Am I going to bounce to peer pressure here? All right. Okay. I'm going to go. All right. I'll go 6 on that one. All right. Let's try again. Sorry. Well, that's to fuck around when I'm on my own, doesn't it? Right. There we go. No, it's happened again. Hang on. Right, while I'm dicking around with this, 6. There we go. Right, let's just do that one. Let's go to Fredericks. So, what were your thoughts on Fredericks, everyone? For me, I thought he had a really good game. I thought he had a really, really good game. I think he defensively he was superb, really good, and he was providing an overlap, especially in the first half on several occasions, and that was probably one of the main things that Ben Rama fucked me off with because he always does something in the games to annoy me, Ben Rama, and that was it. It was Fredericks bombing down on the overlap, and then Ben Rama doing a pirouette and running backwards and passing the ball the other way. I don't know what he was doing there. But yeah, so Fredericks, for me, I'm probably going to go for a 7. But let's run through the comments. So you've got Gary's gone 7, Sharky's gone 7. There we go. Lee's gone 7. Yeah, so I think I've gone right on that. Trodge 7, RG 7, Mandy. Freddie mostly does a decent job at left back. Seeing it, yeah, absolutely. I think it'd have been better off played in the right back because I didn't think Sufal was good, even though he did get the assist. I don't think he had a good game. I think Fredericks didn't really do anything to get dropped. You know, when he did get dropped, but it is what it is. Garino, yeah, 6. I agree with that. Black Country 7. Where are we? 6 Fredericks. P Gads 7. Fredericks 8. Again, I wouldn't argue with you. I'm personally not going to go that high. I am going to go 7 on that. Okay. Right. Let's go to Cresswell at left back. Left back, left centre back. Right. Now, for me, I think Cresswell did the best that he could. I don't think he could have done too much more. He did, especially sort of late in the second half, he did start to look a little bit laboured, a little bit tired. Obviously, we weren't solid. We were a bit of a mess at the back from set pieces. It isn't Cresswell's fault, but I wouldn't say he was under par. I wouldn't say he's below average. I can't do that because he was played out of position. You know, I think his passing was all right. I think his passing was okay, and he made a couple of interceptions as well. So no, I think he did that. I think he did the very best he could do in that situation, Cresswell. So my rating would probably be an average game. So a 6 for me. So what we got here? Weakest centre back yesterday, 6. Yep. Sharky's gone 6. Mandy's gone 5. Gary's gone 6. P gets 5. Black Country Hammer 6. Garino's gone 6. Yeah, so I think that's about right. So Cresswell 5 again. I think Cresswell was much better than Thursday 6. Yeah. So I will stick with 6. Right, the next one, Kurt Zuma. What were your thoughts on Zuma? I think he looks better. Obviously, bear in mind, everyone, he has just come back from injury. And he looks a little bit more switched on, a little bit fit. So considering, look, he had his hands full yesterday, and to be quite honest, what I was quite impressed with Zuma, he broke out defence relatively well yesterday, didn't he? He did that really well. Some of his passing was quite good as well, quite progressive. So I probably would go for, I don't know. I think because he was on his own, probably a 7. Although I might be tempted to give him a very good, which is an 8. Not excellent. I don't know. Would anyone argue with an 8? I think that's probably what I'm going to give Zuma. I weren't very pleased with him the other day, but like I say, today, the Arsenal game, I think he played well. So what we got then? So Zuma, 7. Ballon Dawson 8. Lee's gone for a 7. RG's gone for a 7. Sharky's gone for a 7. Trodger's gone for a 7. Garino's gone for an 8. Yeah, so no, I don't think anyone's going to have a problem with that. What we got? Zuma steady. Well, I don't know about a 6, mate. I think he was a little bit more than average, but all about opinions. Drove forward with the ball very well. Yes, he did, mate. Adam Wilshire, 8. Right, 8. Yeah, that's fine. Right, we're all in agreement on Zuma. Right, now the next bloke, he gets marked up for the assist. But this is one. He was below average for me. I think he was. I think he was pence. I do. I think he was. I think he was awful, especially in the second half as well. I mean, who's the little shit that Declan Rice had a row with Nketiah? I mean, he basically kept on drifting over to that side because Soufal was never there. He was constantly out of position getting up the pitch. Yes, like again, I know he did get that delivery in, and he did do well there, but I don't know. Yeah, I weren't that keen. I weren't that keen on him yesterday. I think he was probably the weaker of the four defenders, in my opinion. I think he was worse than Cresswell. But having said that, I think you got to mark him up. So he probably would have been a 5. You got to mark him up for the assist. So maybe a 6. Maybe go a 6 on Soufal. But I do think he was the worst overall of the centre backs. Sorry, the defenders. So I'll put a 6 on there, and we'll run through the comments. So we've got Lee's gone for 4. Gary's gone for 6. Sharky's gone for 6. Yeah, Soufal's form is a worry, mate, all season as well. And Souček, I'm actually quite concerned about him because I've never been the big. I love Soufal, but I've never been the biggest fan of Souček. But even I'm starting to worry about because he's quite clearly something's gone wrong with Souček because he's never been this bad. He's had a couple of decent games this year, but Souček's just, like I say, his form's fallen off a cliff. And did anyone see the press conference with Moyes as well, where he basically spoke after the game, and he tried to explain why he's been playing Souček whilst not fit and not fit whilst not on form, and he said today's game was a perfect example because we need the height, to defend corners, and so he's basically there because of his height because he's a big bloke. So yeah, hit the like button. Oh, cheers, Rob. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. I'm working overtime today. Trudge 6 for Kufal. Black Country Hammer 5. RG 6. Soufal 6. Yeah, I think everyone agrees, didn't you? You all agree. Hello, Mickey. You're on time. You're never on time. 6. Gary. He's gone for a 5. Souček's not. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It could be the knocks to his head because he's had several, isn't he? So it could be that. But Soufal, yeah, I don't know, mate. I know, but he was a bit iffy before that injury, wasn't he? Because I know they both almost played all the way through the summer because of the tournament. But I don't know that they've not been good this year, and it is a worry. And we need all of our players to play well. And I do like Soufal. He was very good in the game against Leon, though. He was a bit of an animal in that game. So I'm hoping that on Friday, if he is playing, we're going to see that Soufal. Right, start talking about Mark Noble, everyone. Let's give Mark Noble a mention next. It's good to see you on here, Mickey. Right, okay. So where are we? Right, Mark Noble. I thought for a bloke who turns 35 next week, I thought he was tremendous. I really do. Considering that they're quite a busy team, I think it was the type of game that suits Mark Noble because he can kind of sit there and dictate play. It wasn't a high pressing game. We were controlling the ball for large parts, certainly for the first half, for large parts of that game. And there's nothing Mark Noble likes more than getting the ball, turning around and passing backwards and passing sideways. And he could do that till his heart was content yesterday. It was a Noble masterclass. I think he was really, really good. Well, like I say, I think the two central midfielders were the two best players on the pitch by quite some distance, to be quite honest. But we'll get onto Rice next. But Mark Noble, for me, I think he had a. I think he had a really good game. I can't quite go a 9. I'd like to say it was an excellent game because it was an excellent game, but that's where my scoring charts out. It was an excellent game, but I'm only giving him an 8, so I can't go any higher than that for Nobes. He was brilliant. Proud of him. Right, so what we got for Nobes? There we go. My brother agrees with me. That never happens. Noble 8, Black Country Hammer 7, Sharky 8. And we got Tony 8, Trudge 7, Noble 8, Class Act. Yes, indeed. Sharky, man of the match. Don't know about that, mate, but we will talk about that. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put the man of the match to a vote afterwards, as it's just me. Noble's always, yeah, he does. He was brilliant. 7, 8, 7, pushing an 8 for some crunching. Yeah, he was good. He was really good. Noble, don't retire. You could do a job for us, mate. You got to retire at the top. Noble's going to retire. His last act is going to be lifting that cup in Seville. You know, you're never going to top that, are you? What a way to go out. Stuff of fairy tales. It's going to happen. Noble, great game. 9, 8, solid game. It really was a solid game. You know, yeah, it was brilliant. So I think most people are in kind of in or around agreement now. Right, Declan Rice. Tell me what you think about Declan Rice. Now, for me, I'm going to go straight in. What a perfect game. Not far off. Right. This is a bloke. I'm going to talk about him now, actually. And I think we could all see from Declan Rice the frustration, how it was starting to boil over, because we never see Declan Rice lose his temper. We don't. And he fucking blew his top, didn't he, with Nketiah in the end. You can visibly see that Declan Rice is getting frustrated. He is, you know, because we're on a long run of defeats now, and well, defeats and draws, you know, in the league, and it's in April, and he's quite often the best player on the pitch is Declan Rice, and as it stands at the moment, you know, he's always on the bloody losing team, isn't he? So it is a bit of a frustration for him. You can see that, and I think that's why it's starting to boil over. But you can never question his commitment and his heart. And I won't even take that in terms of Declan Rice wants out, because if he wanted out, he'd be going, "Oh fuck this! I'm not trying. I'm too good for this lot." Well, he ain't doing that, is he? He's fighting, but he is getting frustrated. You can see he's getting frustrated. But his game today was absolutely tremendous. Again, the geezer's just got levels, and he's everything to his game. He's tackling, he's anticipation. Some of his interceptions today, because he was pressing high up the pitch, he just kept on nicking the ball. He was just cutting passes out. He was superb. He was absolutely superb, and I did love this moment as well. Let me see if I can fry it up. But yeah, like I say, it's not something you normally see from Rice. But he was, yeah, he was fuming. He was absolutely fuming. I wonder if the guy had said something to him, because he just seemed to lose it, didn't he? But yeah, he's turned into a bit of a he's turned into a bit of a man. He's because he was always a bit of a playful character, wasn't he? But he's a serious bloke on the pitch. I tell you, he's different class. So let's go through the comments on deck anyway. I'm sure there's plenty on here. Right, where are we? So Tony's gone for 9. Yep. Troger's gone for 8. Rice and his interceptions, 8. Rice, 8. Solid. Good to see some passion. Yeah, it was nice. Nice but worrying at the same time, because I don't think that's Declan Rice. It's not the sort of thing he does. Yeah, magnificent. Agree with me again, Gary. What's going on? Rice, 8. Sharky's gone 8. Mandy's, yeah, Arsenal are a wind-up team, constantly looking for an angle. Yeah, I did notice that. They were picking fights, weren't they? But I'm sure it's all part of their game now, wouldn't they? Because you know they all these teams do that game management, especially once they got their noses in front. You know, they do anything to try and disrupt the game, don't they? Bastards. RG, he was shaking his head at some of our own passing before the incident. Yeah, he was getting annoyed. He was getting really frustrated. You know, he must be starting to you know, like I say, quite often we're losing these games, but we've got the best player on the pitch. It's bizarre. Rice giving it to Nketiah, pushed him. Yeah, pushed him to a 9 for me. Fred's gone for 8. So where are we? Black Country's gone 8. Adam's gone 8. He did lose his head a bit, but I think we all like to see it, don't we? A bit of passion, especially coming into well, the biggest game in my lifetime, just coming up on Thursday. It is just passion. Epic's gone 7. But I'll guarantee. I'll tell you what, Epic. You've given Rice 7. Give me your score for Ben Rama just now. I bet you go 9 or something. He loves a bit of Ben Rama. Well, Black Country Hammer. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Maybe it's penalty. It's all corrupt, this shit. I'm saying no more. I've not seen it, mate. Mate, yeah, look, we've seen it. I'm sure it's they do get a leg up, these teams. It was never gonna happen. Rice will channel his anger and already for Thursday. Yes, he bloody will, because he is a winner. He's a big game player. But you know what? Rice wants to win it all. You know, he hasn't got his mind focused on Thursday when he's playing against Arsenal. He's got his mind focused on Arsenal. He wants to beat what's in front of him because he's a professional. Mandy G, 2-0 Man United. Fuck's sake. You can't blame Ben Rama. If we had a striker, oh look, he said the same thing again. Ben Rama would look like a world class player. Explain to me why Declan Rice looks like a world class player on the pitch. Seriously, you said the same thing last week. Ben Rama, he's got good feet. I'm going to go to Ben Rama next. He got started today. You called for him to get started the other day. Now look, I think Ben Rama. I'm going to talk about this now because they all got criticised. Ben Rama, Lanzini, and Fornals got criticised after that game. They were called ineffective. I don't think they were. I think collectively they done a job. I think that the tactic going into that game was to retain possession. But seriously, like seriously, to say that Ben Rama would look like a world class player. Let me tell you this now. Epic hash time, right? You can see something that no one else can see. If we sell Ben Rama, we won't make our money back on him. We'd be lucky to sell him to Brentford for them to have him back because he doesn't look like a Premier League player at the moment. He is a good player. He does get you excited and gets you off your seat occasionally. But then, as Gary said, you're straight back down again because 9 times out of 10, he fluffs it. You know, he's got great feet. He'd had a fortune on a beachfront in Tenerife doing kick-ups. He would. It'd be amazing. But I don't think he's a Premier League player. I don't. I think he's very good at coming off the bench as an impact player. I'm being unfair, by the way. I'm just trying to sort of just trying to roll you up. I do think, yeah, I don't think we'll make our money back on him. If he was a world-class player and we were selling him, he wouldn't be going to a top team. Okay, I do think Ben Rama can do a job. I think he's quite good when we bring him off the bench. But again, when you have players in these positions, in these forward positions, you need something a little bit different. You need someone that can pick the lock. And Ben Rama, I don't think he's that type of player. If every now and then he does something out of the blue. But then the stuff, you know, he does the hard stuff well, but he does the easy stuff bad. It's just really frustrating, you know. One good thing, 10 bad things I see from Ben Rama. So anyway, give us your score on Ben Rama anyway. What we got? Sorry, mate. Benny is woeful. Yeah. So what we got here? He isn't a world class player, Epic. But look, Epic. By the way, I'm only. Look, we've all got our opinions, mate, and we're all entitled to them. We're all entitled to them. But yeah, my opinion is he's not very good. All right, and I would sell him if I had the opportunity, and I'd sell Vlasic as well. I'd sell them both. You know, because I think we need better. Ben Rama 6, he tried. So what's this? Ben Rama creates chances all the time. He has a high goals per. Yeah. Benny is a £20 million player. Ben Rama started lively, ignored Fred on the overlap, kept running into a cul-de-sac. Yeah, he did. He did. Personally, I think he had one of his better games yesterday. Yeah, he did. But it's ineffective, isn't it? What I'm saying is he did. And like I say, I think Gary will confirm that. On the WhatsApp, I was saying this is probably one of Benny's better games. Do you know why? Because he was doing things simply, actually. He was annoying me with Fredericks down the left-hand side where he kept on turning backwards when Fredericks was bombing on, and the right ball would have been to slip Fredericks in. But his ball retention was good. He didn't really give the ball away too much yesterday, but there weren't much else, was there? You know, I didn't see him beating players. I didn't see him try and take anyone on. You know, he just looked like a team player, like they all were. You know, they was all just moving the ball really, really quickly. Yeah, I didn't really see anything bad from Ben Rama, but I don't think I really saw much good. So for me, I think it was an average game. I can't go any higher than a 6 on Benny. I refuse. Not for that. Right. So what's that? So Benny would be great at Brighton. Hopefully Moyes picks him out of Tommy Ash's pocket before Thursday. Yeah, I know, mate. Well, do you know what else as well? I think, look, Ben Rama, it's a style of play as well, right? Because the way that we play football, usually, it is a bit of a smash and grab, isn't it? You know, we like to play, when we've got our strongest team out and we're playing, you know, and we play the way that we've played that has got us to where we are, it is a bit of a smash and grab game. We play a counter-attacking style. You know, we've got a lot of reliance on set pieces, which is fine. And, you know, we play quite direct football. I don't think that's Ben Rama's game. I don't think it ever has been. But when you play the way that we played against Arsenal, it's a different style. Not quite as effective for West Ham to play that way, I don't think, because we don't have the world-class players to play that way. But Ben Rama looks better in that type of system. I think I said it earlier on. I think that we can play to an elite level, because I like to call it shithouse football. I think, and that's not a criticism. I think that's what we're amazing at. I think, you know, when it comes to sort of being physical, playing direct, and just basically bullying teams and getting getting goals from set pieces. And I like to call it shithouse, right? That's what I like to do. I think we can play shithouse football to an elite level. I think we are one of the very best shithouse teams. Probably not far off the likes of we're not quite as shithouse as the likes of Atletico Madrid, but we're right up there as far as that goes. What we showed against Arsenal is we can also play the other way. We can play the Arsenal style, but we're not. We haven't got the players to sort of play that as effectively, have we? So I think against Frankfurt, like I say, I think we've got to go full shit house against Frankfurt. That's my thoughts. So what's everyone saying about Benny anyway? Right, so 5. Ross has gone for 7. 5, 5, 5, 6. What's this? Benny 6, almost a 7. He did try. He did try. 5. Where are we? Benny gets a 6 for me. Yeah, look, I think that's fair. I'm not going to go 5 because, like I say, I think he had an average game. I think it was. He definitely wasn't below average. So I can't go. I can't go doing that to him. So let's give Benny 6. Right, now let's move on to Lanzini. I'll tell you what, we'll score Lanzini and 4 nails together because there was 2 very similar performances. Again, I've seen Lanzini and 4 nails get criticised in the same way that I've seen Ben Rama get criticised because people were not used to our style changing. It was almost like people were saying, they were saying, oh, those 3 slowed us down. We was no good on the counter attack. We wasn't playing counter attacking football yesterday. We weren't. We was holding the ball, and those 3 helped us. They were really good. Our ball retention was good. We was moving the ball, passing and moving. Fair enough. We weren't really creating that many opportunities, but neither were Arsenal. We were kind of cancelling each other out, and I think that was the plan: protecting our defence by holding onto the ball. And look, we could have got something out of that game, couldn't we? So yeah, I think Lanzini. What are we saying here for? So we've got 5 and 5, 6 and 6 as a duo. Yeah. Right. So let's go here. So Manu and 4 nails 5, both are 6 as a duo 7, 5 and 5. Yeah, I'm going to go 6 and 6. I think the whole way across that middle line. Lanzini 5 4 nails 4 for 4 nails. Oh, I don't think he was that bad, mate. I don't think he was that bad. I mean, look, they were all there was a couple of slack passes, but no, I don't think he was that bad. 4 nails 5 misplaced passes in the last third. Lanzini 5 anonymous. 4 nails gets a 6 as he worked hard. Yeah, he did. Well, look, I'm gonna, like I say, I'm gonna go 6 across the board for these. They were very similar performances, to be honest, and they all did their job, I thought. So Jared Bowen, let's move on to Jared Bowen. I think he was superb. It was a great finish. Really good finish. I think he worked tirelessly. He struggled with service. He isn't a striker. Is he, Jared Bowen? He's not. He doesn't make the natural runs because if you remember, I think Mandy refers to it. Look, was one of these comments here, right? 4 nails 5 misplaced passes in the last third. Now, if you remember in the first half, do you remember 4 nails broke down the right hand side and he slipped a ball into the near post? Ended up looking like a really shit cross. It weren't. It was a good cross to the near post that a striker would have made a run to. But it's not. It's the same as if you got Antonio in there. They haven't got those instincts. They don't make those runs. So it was made to look bad. But yeah. It would be a 7 or an 8 for me, but I will. It's looking like it's going to be an 8 because I think everyone's saying the same thing. So Bowen 8, Bowen 8s. Bowen carries us on occasions. Yeah, I agree with that. It was your man in the match, 8. Right. Okay. So we got Bowen 8. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's going to be an 8, isn't it? Sharky's gone 7. I would have gone 7 or an 8. Yeah, that's the thing. That was this was my thinking. It did kind of that mistake did cost us the first goal, didn't it? But he did come good. So all right, let's go. Man United 3. Oh, fucking hell. Well, that's good in one respect, isn't it? Because they're beating Wolves. Bowen is good under pressure. Yes, he is. Right, okay. So let's go 8 for Bowen. Now what we'll do, hang on, let's get rid of all that. What we'll do next, let's do our man of the match before we move on to the subs. So let me know in the chat who your man of the match would be. So, you know, it hasn't got to go by score. So it can be Declan Rice, it can be Noble, and it can be Bowen. So let's go out of them three. So who would you choose? Who would your vote for man of the match be? Based on the performance yesterday. Like I say, don't go based on the scores. I don't know why I've changed Noble to a 9. Hang on. I'm getting all confused. Right. Let's do that. Let's change Noble back. Okay. Right. So what we got? 1 minute. Oh, bloody hell. There's loads of votes. I'm not good at maths. Right. So what we got here? So, right. Gary's gone Rice. This is like being back at school. Noble. Rice. Man, you playing Brentford. They're playing Brentford. Fuck's sake. All right. Sorry. My mistake. Rice. So it's out of Rice and Noble. Yeah, there's definitely There's definitely more Rices. Mike D, man of the match, just as he wanted it. Yeah, I know. Can't stand him. Yeah, so it's going to be Declan. He was superb, wasn't he? What a player! What a player he is. Okay, right. Let's go to. I'm going to go to Antonio first, and I'm going to do something that I don't usually do, and I'm going to criticise him, because he was on for 20 minutes, and you know, I've been thinking to myself that when we do bring a striker in, it'd be nothing better than having Antonio as an impact player. You know, well, I tell you what, uh, he was awful. Antonio was he was genuinely terrible when he came on. There weren't even any effort there. There wasn't even any effort when he came on. So you come on for 20 minutes. You know, we need to get something out of that game, and he was just strolling around, and that was what was kind of it was really, really irritating me. He was clumsy. He was falling over. It was almost like he hadn't warmed up properly or something. It's like he came on really, really cold. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't like I say. I don't like to criticise Antonio, but I think that was a big game for us. I don't know whether he's got one eye on Thursday and he's thinking I don't want to get injured, but he was awful. He was awful. And like I said, I don't like to criticise Antonio, but that was it was tragic. So for me, I'm probably going to go a 4 for Antonio, but I will, we'll have a look and see what people are saying. Oh, hang on, sorry, my mouse ain't working. Right, Gary Cray's gone 3. Yeah, he did nothing. Gary's gone 4. RG's gone 6. What's your rationale on that, RG? What's your thinking behind that? Because I don't actually think he did anything positive when he came on in 20 minutes as well. You know, it's not like he only had 2 minutes on the pitch. No, seriously, Rice, I could read his lips what he said to Nketiah, and it was beautiful. The words he said, I can't repeat. Yeah, no, I agree. It was a beautiful moment to see Declan Rice put him in his place. Little shit. 4. Antonio didn't put himself about saving himself. Yeah, I think so. It's not his place to do that. If he's put on the pitch, he's been put on the pitch for a reason. You know, when we set out to get something from that game as well. There was a lot of effort expended in that game, so he's got no right to fucking do that. Antonio did nothing. Genuinely love the guy, but my God, yeah, same here. I love him. Mandy, Antonio should have stayed 1 and played Bowen Central 3. Yeah, look, I think I'm not being unfair. So yeah, there's only one person getting the donkey head today by the look of it, because I can't really I don't think the other two did much wrong. So yeah, Antonio, sorry mate, get that on your head. Hang on, there we go. Right, let's talk about. Sorry, mate, Antonio, but you were shit, mate. Simple as that. Right, so let's go to Yarmolenko next. Don't think, yeah, I don't think he had as much time. I thought he was all right. I thought Yarmolenko was all right when he came on. I think he looked better than Antonio. I think he probably did more than Antonio in the time that he was on the pitch. Uh, yeah, I'd probably go 6 for the time that he was on. I don't think he was below average. I think he did put himself about a little bit. You know, again, there wasn't anything. We never looked like scoring. Once they got their second goal, we never looked like getting anything back, irrespective of who Moyes threw on. Nothing really helped the situation, did it? Um, so yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So I probably would go um, a 6 on Yarmolenko. Hang on. I'll go 6, but let's run through the comments. Pull that back. Um, where are we? Yeah, so Yarmo's gone. Yeah, Yarmo 5. Where are we? Yeah, there you go. I remember that. Yarmolenko 9, just for the back heel flick. Um, but yeah, again, I think he did put himself about. The thing is, I'm starting to notice that more with Yarmolenko. Look, he's got a very laid back demeanour. He can't help that. Sometimes he looks lazy when he ain't. But I think he was really effective. Well, not really effective because nothing happened. I think he tried hard. That's what I mean. Yeah, yeah. Well, an average is 6, mate. That's the way that we do the scores. Yarmo 5. Never used subs correctly, in my opinion. Yeah, no. Look, I don't think there was too much that we could do yesterday. I don't think we was ever going to get anything out of that game. Mike Dean weren't going to allow it, was he? I'll leave it as a 6. And I'm probably going to go. Let's close this up. Right, let's get off the players very quickly on Souček. I'll probably I'll probably stick with a 6 for Souček as well. I don't think he did anything wrong. Came on, put himself about, did what Souček does. Again, didn't help us, did it? Didn't help us. He was, yeah. Ah, sorry, mate. RG, I thought you gave Antonio a 6. That's what I was responding to. Sorry, mate. Yeah, Souček, I'll probably give a 6. He weren't like I say, they weren't really on the pitch that long, was they? Let's move on to David Moyes. What would you give David Moyes for yesterday? For me, I probably would go. I don't think he could have done much different. What irritates me now is the fact that we are persisting with Fabianski when we've got a better keeper on the bench than what we got on the pitch. That is annoying me. It really is irritating me. Like I say, I do believe if Areola had been in goal yesterday, I think we win that game. But that said, I think he got the tactics right. I think he got the he got the tactics right. I think he got I think the changes were the changes. He ain't really got many options, is he? Um, I think it worked to a degree what happened yesterday, and I think if it hadn't have been for the fact that Arsenal got a leg up from the official and from the officials because there was no VAR yesterday, AV yesterday, I think we probably would have got something from that game. So I think it was above average. I probably would go 7 on Moyes. So that would be my score. Yeah, I was like I say, it was quite a good game of football. I thought. Not intense, not high intensity, but it's never going to be when you're playing that style. But I quite like that. Good to see us playing some triangles. Hang on, I've come to the wrong bit. Where are we? So we got Hammerhead's gone 7. Mandy's gone 7. Black Country's gone 6. RG's gone. You said 6 was average, so I said below average, Antonio. Yeah. Okay, mate. Sorry. 6 only because he wasn't as electric as Arteta on the sideline. Fight for every game. Yeah. Right. Moyes 7. Moyes 7. Right. Okay. Right. That's that done. Okay. Rice man of the match. Job done. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Right. Do you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to probably look at wrapping it up because I've got to get to bed. Like I say, this was only supposed to be quite a quick show. So a couple of the other subjects that I was going to talk about, I'll probably leave for a little video in the week. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that. It was quite difficult. I've not done a live show on my own before, So I think I managed all right. I don't know. But yeah, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. And Gary is back in the morning with his new show. So Gary does Tuesdays. John will be back on Wednesday. I'll be doing Thursday. We'll also be doing our sort of fan cams, talking heads. Yeah, it was it. Yeah, that was good. So thanks all for joining. Yeah, I can't believe. Like I say, I didn't expect many people to be on, but it's good. You've all got your alerts and your notifications on, so I really appreciate that. Thanks very much. Yeah, come on, you irons.